Hey guys, and welcome back. In today's video I am using a 5mm hook. I'm using loops and thread. This is the color gray and this is cooler. I just made one of the gloves. As you can see, I still have so much yarn left. Just want to let you know that it doesn't take a lot of yarn to make these. We're going to start off by making a granny square. I'll be using this gray yarn. And we're going to be making 2 granny squares for each glove. We're going to start off with a slip knot on our hook, and we'll then chain 4. Into the first chain we made, we're going to insert our hook, pull through to make a slip stitch. Now that we have this little ring, we're going to place 3 half double crochets. So I'm making a solid granny square. I make it a little different. It doesn't really matter, but if you want your granny square to be pretty solid, you can follow along. It's only 3 rows. So for our first row, we're going to place 3 half double crochets. And then instead of a traditional corner, we're going to do 1 double crochet as our corner. Then 3 more half double crochets. Then a double crochet, three half double crochets, a double crochet, 3 more half double crochets, and then a final double crochet. You'll have 4 sides. We're going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet we make. I really do recommend though counting your stitches after these rows because there's not a lot to count. There's 16 stitches in this row. Slip stitch and chain 1. For row 2, we're going to have a total of 32 stitches at the end. So we just went into this first half double crochet. We're going to go right back in there and make another half double crochet. And then in the next 2 stitches, we'll make a half double crochet in each. Once we get to this double crochet, which is our corner, we're going to place 2 half double crochets, 1 double crochet, and 2 half double crochets all in that same stitch. So 1 half double crochet, 2, and then a double crochet, and then 2 half double crochets all in that same stitch. And then you'll have 3 half double crochets till we meet that next double crochet. So do 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. We're back at this corner and we'll do the same thing. 2 half double crochets, 1 double crochet, and 2 half double crochets. Then we'll do 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. We're back at another corner. We'll place the 2 half double crochets, then double crochet, and then, oh, did I do a double or a half? Sorry, I think I did a, sorry. And then 2 halves, all in that same stitch. And then in the next 3 stitches, we will do a half double crochet in each. We're at our last double crochet, and just to point out if you're new, so like this is our last stitch. There is always this, when you work this way and you connect, there's always this like stitch. I used to go into it all the time or count it and be like, why am I always over a stitch? I'm always over a stitch. This is, no one ever says this, I don't know why, but this is our slip stitch. So ignore that. This is our double crochet. So we'll place the same corner that we have been doing. Okay, and then that is it for round 2. I'm going to do a quick count. Okay, into that first half double crochet we made, we will go in and make a slip stitch, chain 1. We're on our 3rd and last row of the granny square. We're going to go right back into that stitch and make a half double crochet. So we're going to do the exact same thing that we did in row 2. You're going to half double crochet all the way until you get to that double crochet, and we're going to put that same corner space. So you'll have 7 half double crochets in between each space. You'll have a total of 48 stitches at the end. Yeah, we're doing the same thing, except it's just a few more half double crochets in the middle than the previous row. I'll meet you when you get back here. Once you're here, we're going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet we made, chain 1, and cut our string. You're going to make 1 more of these, and I'll meet you back here, and we're going to make our little bow. Next, we'll be moving on to our bow. I'm using a little rose quartz bead that I had, and I have this tiny hook that I'm going to use to feed my yarn through. So we're going to start off with a slip knot, but make sure you keep your tail long because I'm going to use it to attach it to the glove. And we'll then chain 13. Next, we're going to skip this first chain on our hook and make a single crochet into the next. We'll do that all along for a total of 12 single crochets. Here I am, finished with row 1. I'm going to chain 1 and do another row of all single crochets and then 1 more for a total of 3. So do 2 more of these exact same rows, 12 stitches each. I'll meet you when you're done with the next 2. Once complete, we're going to line our crochets up against each other, like so. We have 3 rows, so these rows aren't very defined on the side, but we're just going to go in and make 3 single crochets. So just go in through the corner, this corner, and this corner, pull through, single crochet, and go somewhere in the middle, and then one more at the next corner. Chain one and make this one really long, pretty long. And here's this piece. This will be the top of our bow. We're gonna make another one of these pieces, except we're not connecting it, and we're only doing 2 rows. So we're gonna make our slip knot, and then chain 13. Skipping the first chain on our hook, making a single crochet, and then we'll single crochet all along, just like before, for a total of 12 single crochets. And then you'll do one more row after that for 2 rows. So instead of 3 like this one, we're just doing 2. Once you're done with those 2 rows of single crochets, we're going to chain 1, pull up our string, pull it kind of long. I don't need it too long, but just a little bit. And then we're going to put our bow together. It's pretty easy. So you're going to have this like this. Okay, just keep it like that. That's good. And so this part is going to be the back of our bow. And we're going to keep this piece aside. And we're going to use this piece. This is a pretty easy technique, but we're just going to tightly wind it together with this right here. So going in between here, just gonna go around and do it nice and tight. See? Gotta keep your grip a little bit. Just go around. Once you get it around a few times, you won't need to keep the grip as tough. Yeah, like that. So cute, isn't it? Okay. Now, once you have it wrapped around as much as you want, I think this is good for me. What I'm going to do, you don't have to put the bead if you want to add the bead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my string a little bit. I didn't need it that long. And then I'm going to carefully take this yarn because I can't get my bead through this yarn. It's too thick, obviously. And I'm just going to carefully unwind it a little bit. But don't try to like mess it up too much. You can also like add a piece of thread, but I'd rather just do it this way because I don't want to have to do all that. Just take a piece of this carefully without like, making it frayed looking. And then I'm going to take my bead. I have this little tiny crochet hook, but you can also use a needle, like a needle you would use for thread. And I'm going to pull it through carefully, just like that, so that I can have my bead right there. And then if we pull this one tight enough, we won't really notice that we undid it. See? And then I'm going to take that and this other piece that I told you to keep aside, and I'm just going to make some knots. So I like to do first a regular knot. So your regular, just like one knot, and then I'm going to show you quickly how to make a surgeon's knot. So a surgeon's knot, just make sure it's nice, is where you're going to make a regular knot like that. Before closing it, you're going to put it in again. And it makes a pretty secure knot. Keep those strings there. We need to attach it right now. And here is our bow. It came out perfect, super cute. And let's attach it to one of our granny squares. So how we'll do that is pretty simple. I'm going to pull these 2 strings through. I'm going to kind of place it first. So like right here I think is good. And then just from the back, I'm going to just grab it like behind the bow so we can't see it. And here. That. I'm going to do my same knot and surgeon's knot as I just showed you. We want it to be nice and tight too. So like get it there, make sure it looks fine in the front. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with these. So I'm gonna kind of adjust it a little bit. I like that this one's kind of curved, so I'm gonna keep it like that. And I'm gonna pull it through. But since it's like, I want it to be a little bit more secure, so I'm gonna pull it through again, like in the middle. And I wanna make sure it blends in, so I'm gonna go in again, but I'm gonna put it in like right here, so that it blends in with this string, just so it doesn't look like we're doing that. And I'm gonna do this until I get like up here, and I'm gonna tie it again with this string so that our bow is nice and secure. Just kind of going in and out with like little motions because I don't want it to be noticeable. So like right here, I'm just gonna go in through the back because I don't want it to be seen. Okay. I think that's good. I think that's good. And then I'm just going to tie these together, and then I'm going to bring this one up the same way and tie it with these. So next we need to kind of determine so this is my other one that I made, and so my thumb hole is here, so this is for this one. So I need to make a thumb hole for this side. So what I'll be doing is I'm going to stitch up this side completely closed, and we're going to start, so I'm going to flip it. So I'm doing this side. I'm going to flip it so our sides are reversed. And I'm going to go in through the double crochet. So I have the corner half, this is my double. And then this is my other double. And then we're just going to carefully, before I move on though, I do like to, I'm going to make a knot right now to secure this. Okay. And then we should have the same amount of stitches on each side, so we're just going to go through and stitch all along this side. Okay. And I'll meet you when you're done stitching these together. Our final stitch will be in also the double crochets for the corner. Before you end, you can do this. So pull, go in, and go in again. Do the other side to create a knot. We can just cut our string, check our work. This is what it should look like. It's not a super obvious. Once we're done, we can check our work. This is what it should look like. And then next, we're going to be making the top. So we're going to start from this corner, taking our pink string, and we're going to go in the double crochet. Let me see. 1, We're going to go in through the double crochet and then this double crochet. Okay. Add our color. I like to do a chain with both. And then that's our only stitch we're going to do together. The rest of the stitches we're just going to go along this whole area. Okay. You're going to go all around. Let me show you what to do when you get to the joined section. So when we get here, we're not going to place any single crochets inside this join because it can make it give like, how it's dipped, it'll give it a dip. So we're just going to go into that double crochet that we stitched into, and then into that double crochet as well. So we're not going into the join at all. See? And then we just keep going around. Okay, so now that we're here, I'm going to place one single crochet in this stitch, this last stitch that we used to combine them, and then I'm going to slip stitch into this first single crochet we made to join these two corners. Okay, and this is what it should look like. This string is poking out from when we started this part. Looks really good. So now what we're going to do is do a single crochet. So we just slip stitched into our first single crochet. We're going to go right back in there and do a single crochet, and then we're going to do a single crochet decrease. So that is going in and then going into the next one. 3 loops on your hook, pull through all 3. I'll get a little closer, and then we're going to do another single crochet and then a decrease. So the decrease is going in, pulling up our string, going in the next stitch, 3 loops on our hook, pull through all 3, and we're going to keep this stitch pattern going all along. So 1 single crochet and then a decrease, single crochet and then a decrease, all the way around, and I'll meet you when you're done. And here is what row 2 should look like. Row 2 of the top of our band this is where our fingers will be. Now we're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet we made, and we're going to do one more row. We're just going to do one row all around of just single crochets. If you want, you can kind of try it on, make sure it fits good, because yeah, that's good. Should be good. If you need it to be a little bit tighter, you can just add a few more decreases here and there. It's not too serious because these rows are like, obviously everyone's a little different, so it doesn't, this is like, we're not connecting anything to this, so if you need to add a few more decreases, just do that, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. This is the last row. I might add a few actually. I don't know why this one, I followed the exact same instruction for this one, but this one's like a little bit bigger. I don't know, maybe my tension or something, I don't know, but yeah, feel free to add a few decreases if you need to. I'm at the end of my 3rd row, so I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet I made, chain 1 and cut my string. If you want it to be longer, you can also add more rows. Okay, this looks really good. Matches my other one. Perfect. Looks so good. Now for our thumb holes, I have this inside out again. I'm going to go in through the double crochets and then stitch by stitch I'm going to add my knot, but we're going to go all the way up till we just have 5 of these left. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna stop right here. This is my thumb hole. That's what I did for this one. You can try it on if you need to add more or make it smaller, but I'm gonna go up till I have 5 stitches left. And then I'm going to make a knot. I'm gonna go in again. Going in through here and then back in through this loop. Tie it up. And I wanted to show you guys this also. I need to tie up those strings. But you know what I like to do is just like take my needle and this is how I tie up my strings real good. You can just pull it through till it's like all wound up in there. And so here is what our cute arm warmer looks like so far. We just have to add our wristband. We're gonna tuck this all in, make it look good. So for this part of adding the cuff, we are gonna try to get our stitches close to what we need. So we have our double crochet, and then we have 11 half double crochets and then a double crochet. The double crochets are in here. We use them to join. We are gonna go in them. So you just have to find them, or just kind of, you can even guess, like mine's right here. There's another one right here. But we have 13 and 13 for a total of 26. We're going to attach our yarn anywhere you want, really. And we're going to do single crochet decreases all along. So get your yarn, chain 1, and then I'm just going to go right in. I'm going to go in and in again. And I'm going to do this all along. And we should have 13 stitches at the end. If you're a little off, it probably really won't matter. But I would start over if like you have like 10 stitches at the end. Once we're done with our row of decreases, we're going to slip stitch into the first stitch. We're going to chain 1. We're going to go right back in and do a row of all single crochets. So we should have 13 single crochets in this row. Once we're done, we're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet we made, chain 1, and then you're going to pull a long string, longer than you think, and then cut. So for our cuff, you can make it however long you want. This is where you're going to add the length. I'm going to do a slip knot, and then I am chaining 9. That's how many I chained to make it this long. Next, we're going to skip this first chain on our hook and go into the next and make a single crochet. And you're going to do that all along. And then once you're done with that, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to be working in the posts, the back posts. So we're actually going to be making 25 rows like this. This is our first row. Why we're making 25? Well, we're actually making 26, but 26 is going to be I'm counting that as, because we're going to connect at the end. The connection is going to be considered our 26th row. For these, 26 sounds like a lot of stitches, or 25, but if you don't want to keep track with like a pen and pencil, you can just count by like these lumps. So like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's how you can keep track. I just wanted to let you know that before we move on. I'm going to show you how to do this stitch. So these are our back posts. So we're not going in these V's. We're going in here, in these things. So we're just going to so we're going to make single crochets. We're going to go backwards and go in, grab our string, pull up a little bit, pull through. That's 1. Then we go into the next. See? I'll do it a little slower for you guys. So this is what we're going into. We're not going into these. We're just gonna kind of insert in here. So it's the exact same thing as a regular single crochet, except we're not going into those V's. And what this does at the end of your row, chain one, is it pushes those V's out. So we chain one, and then we just continue doing the same thing. So going, but now we're working from this side. So just going in. And what this will do is push it out on this side. And you're going to continue making these rows until you have 25. Once you have 25, come back and we will join it together. So here I have my 25 stitches. To seal this up, what we're going to do is I chained one. We're going to go through our first single crochet next to us. And then we're going to go in through this single crochet on this side. Okay. Sorry, the string's kind of in the way. Up here. And then we just pull our string through. 2 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, making a single crochet. And this is how we'll join them. So going through this single crochet and then this single crochet, yarning over, and you'll just do that all along. So we're going to add our cuff now. This is the last step. As you know, we have 13 stitches here, but we have 26 rows here. That's because, you know, obviously we need this to fit around our wrist and we want it to stay stretchy. So if I made it 13 stitches, it'd be so tiny and it would like stretch out and it wouldn't look like this on our wrist. It would like just stretch out. So what we're going to do is we're going to sew this together just like how we sewed everything else together, except we're going to be stitching 2 into each one. I'm going to show you right now. It's super easy. I'm going in from the front. Okay, and then I'm gonna join though from this back. So just in here, there's not really like a definite stitch right here, but just like right here at this bottom, and we're gonna pull through. Nice and tight. Okay, we're gonna go through that exact same stitch down here again, but pull through this middle part. So that was this top part and this is this middle. So just in there. So we went in down here and then we're going to go right next to it. But going through this same stitch that's attached to this part. Okay? And then we'd move on to the next stitch. Go in here and then go in through this puffy one. Okay, and then again through that same stitch, but we're going to go through this middle section. Okay, and we're going to keep that going all along, and that's how we're going to attach this section. And so here are the gloves complete. I absolutely love the way they came out. They're so cute, bulky, they're perfect. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!